Hey guys, I am not sure why I am still working on this windshield project, but I am. Here's what I'm up to. The new windshield is doing great. No complaints about the windshield or the seal or anything like that. Everything's good. But what I'm after today is I have the old windshield here and I have this protective film. I just got this on Amazon. There are a few different brands. This one is in like the $150 range. So this looks like boog film. I'm not sure why they call it that, but this is the size here, thickness 6.5 mils, 1.2 meters by 1.5 meters, which is going to be way too much for this car. But I'll show you later in the video what I'm planning on doing with the excess. Part of the appeal of this project. I'm going to use this old windshield to cut the film to fit and then install it on the new windshield without scratching it. There are some witness marks of where the old seal was. The new seal I have is slightly different, but I'm thinking that with a little bit of buffer range, 15 to 16 millimeters seems to be the location the seal occupies. The same is true here on the bottom. And like a lot of things on Amazon, there are no instructions with this, but I've done a little bit of work with PPF before on paint. I think this is going to be similar with the slip solution and so forth. So I've taped the film to the old windshield in several places, and then I've created this band around the top. This is about 18 millimeters. So if I cut on this side of the line, it should fit within the seal on the car. So I'm going to cut it so there's at least a 2 to 3 millimeter margin on the ends, including the corners. So that means that you will probably see a little bit of a seam here, but it won't be that noticeable and the film can be removed without removing the seal. So I could have put the film on before I put the seal on and had it tucked underneath, but PPF does not last forever and I want to be able to remove it without doing this whole project again. Before I cut both sides, I am going to take a measurement from top to bottom and just, measure twice, cut once. Okay, I got 22 3/4 on the car. So if I go, here at the center where that line is, I'm getting about 22.5. So there is a boundary there. And I could probably make a tool that would give me the exact cut length, but I'm just going to freehand it and just scribe it. And then I'm going to leave these 2 tape marks here. I'm going to leave this section long because I'm going to hang this from the ceiling when I install it. So I need to be able to clamp onto this excess. So I took the tape off this side just to see how well it cut through, and it did a pretty good job of cutting through. So there's still the backing material that sometimes is still not fully cut through. So I'm just going to use some scissors on that, make sure I can get a clean, perimeter cut, and then we may have to fine tune the corners once it's on the car. The windshield is already pretty clean because it's basically a brand new windshield, but I'm going to clean it with this is called the slip solution, which is just distilled water and baby shampoo. So you only need a little bit of baby shampoo. That was like a tablespoon, might have been too much. The kit does come with this little squeegee, it's pretty small, and it also comes with a blade, which apparently it's safe for glass. So we'll use that on the new windshield. On the old windshield, I just used a conventional, razor blade. So at this point, as you drag this across, you want to feel if there are any spots that feel dirty. because this is your final clean. You can also kind of feel with your hand if there are any defects in the windshield or anything stuck to it. It feels really clean to me because it's a brand new windshield. So this step is a little quicker than if you're doing it on an old windshield. The idea with this product is it's going to protect the windshield, but it also protects the interior because this is UV resistant and also infrared resistant. So it cuts down on the sun's rays in the interior. It's going to also cut down on the heat when you're driving. One more pass with the microfiber towel just to make sure there's no dust in it. As always, I've rigged up some helping hands with some strings from the ceiling. So that's going to allow me to make sure that both surfaces are very clean. This has a glue backing that activates with the water and the soap. So once we take the backing off, we need to have it wet and on the window without any dust. So I'm able to, kind of clean here. One more final dust. You can already tell that there's a little bit of dust that just has fallen since I cleaned it last. Okay, we're making some good progress, but you get these wrinkles that they just keep coming back. So we're going to have to use the heat gun and put a little extra heat into it to get these things to shrink. So in the area in the center where there's no curvature, it's pretty well attached. There's no bubbles, nothing like that. But these areas, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, same on the other side. Quite a few of those that have to be shrunken down with heat. Most of the squeegee was done with this outer film in place. This stuff comes in 3 layers. One exposes the adhesive, one is the actual PPF, and the third is a protective layer on the outside. So all the squeegee, put a few scratches in it here and there as I was working it out. But now I'm going to remove that protective layer and we should be left with a pretty nice film underneath. Everything is down for the most part. So I think that's the trick. I'm going to put the camera down and do it from a different angle. So now for the last little bit of edge work, I'm using the fiber towel just to make sure that we don't scratch the actual film. This is a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and water, and it activates the glue almost instantly. So that's what I'm doing to get the last little bit down. And it's not perfect. There's a little bit of dust here and there, but in general, it's okay. I doubt you're going to be able to see this on camera, but there is a cut line, right there. Goes around the corner. There are a few little specks of dust. So I don't know if you can tell, but if you get it just in the light, like there's a little dust spot right there. It's not the end of the world. It's the best I could do with the, materials I have. This is going to be, I think, overall better than chips in the windshield. There might be a couple dust specks right there, but I think in terms of my line of vision, which is kind of right here, I think it's pretty clear. So yeah, that's pretty cool. From the inside, there's no weird optical distortion or anything. It's pretty even. There's one area, this is where one of those fingers was, and there's a little bit of waviness as that got heated and smoothed out, the shrinking, it's a little extra material bunched up there. That's about the only thing I can see that's optically weird, but those are generally on the edges. So I think this is going to be livable. This is not a perfect installation. I mean, it did go pretty well. It is something you can do at home. It takes a little bit of patience with getting out the wrinkles. It's actually easier to get the wrinkles out if you take the protective cover off of the outside because the material is softer, a little easier to work. I tried to do it with the material on so I wasn't scratching the film with the squeegee, but that's totally your choice. You can take it off at any point. It's stuck down on the window. Usually you get the center stuck down, you can pull it off and make it easier to work with. But I think it's gonna last probably like 2 years or so. This is a cabriolet fair weather car. Really don't drive with the wipers. The wipers can, cause some abrasions on the PPF, but it's supposed to be like a self-healing material. So when it gets hot in the sun, it kind of reflows and some of the scratches can disappear. We'll see how long it lasts. With any PPF, you don't want to leave it on too long. Probably 2 to 5 years is my guess. One of the main reasons why I didn't buy the pre-cut one, you can buy pre-cut ones from, I think it's Windshield Skin or something. That's quite a bit more expensive, but I actually wanted to keep some of the extra material. So the promising thing and the thing I wanted to experiment with on this is my other car has or will have the plexi side windows. And the side windows can get scratched when they go up and down because of the wipers and just normal handling. So I am going to apply this to the plexi and see if I like it. This material, like I said, is self-healing. It's a little bit more durable than just raw plexiglass. And it's easier to replace the film than it is to replace the whole window. So that's the hope. I have enough material to experiment with, at least on both side windows. I can probably do them both with just the leftover material from this job. So I wanted to protect my windshield and the investment I put in this car, but I'm really excited about using it on the plexi. Assuming the adhesive is compatible with the Lexan, I don't see any reason why it won't work. And I could put it on both the inside and the outside for that matter to give a little more protection as that window slides up and down. Remember, I have the belt that pulls those windows up. So I'm gonna switch back to the lightweight Lexan with hopefully this film on there and see how durable it is. If you have any other ideas on how to do the PPF better, just let me know. I've never done this before. I thought it went relatively well, but it's not perfect.